Hey, what's good, my friends? Thanks so much for checking out the Open Decks podcast. This week, Ryan and I sat down with our good friend Ben of the Kindred Effect, who DJs under the name Kelevra Kidah, at least for now. He's teasing a rebrand in this conversation today. Talked about his experience as the sound guy, as you'll hear throughout the conversation today. One of our good friends, always a pleasure to work with the Kindred Effect. They've been good to us individually and RPG collectively. Hope you guys enjoy the conversation. Thanks again for stopping by.
Thanks for letting us pop up at the house, man.
Of course. Yeah.
Good to chat. How you been?
I've been work has been work. Running sound's been running sound, and that's been pretty good. I did a Pride gig at Wonder Garden back on June 6th. That I ran a couple bands. It went really well.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I had was because it's right next to the Metro. It was hard for me to tell because I was running sound from side stage if the brake squeak from the Metro was brake squeak from the Metro or feedback from a microphone.
Yeah. Yeah, we weren't that close, but you could hear it in the last one we did with State Secret. You could hear the Metro right behind us. So my backyard butts up to the Metro rail. But
yep.
So you did Wonder Garden, just bands or DJs?
It was 3 bands, 3 DJs, 2 different rooms. There was like a transition from like the pavilion outside when the bands were done into the inside like the major tent area. But like next DJ gig I have isn't until outside of like Eaton Radio later today, which that doesn't count because there's not a physical dance floor there.
The sidewalk can be creative on the sidewalk.
This is true. You can be creative on the sidewalk.
That's the campaign for them. They should be.
You know what, you're right.
Yeah.
Eaton Radio, creative on the sidewalk. I'm playing for them 5 to 5:30. I play for Ignition FM every Sunday from 1 to 2 Eastern Time, 6, I believe, UK. I've been on with Ignition guys for 6-7 years. Back when it was UGC is when I joined, and that was during the pandemic, and it's evolved a bunch of times since then, but it's a really fun radio station to be on.
And Ignition is a live broadcast?
Yep, live broadcast. I do it from my little DJ corner over that way. And a little camera taped to my ceiling, you know.
You're going on right after this, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. 1 p.m. I have to jump off of here, jump on the decks, and figure out what I want to do.
I was gonna ask you, like, what for Ignition specifically, or today specifically, like, what sound are you trying to push through those broadcasts or those sets, or do you just kind of mix it up from one to the next,
genre-wise, like, I'm pretty... Like, the only way to really describe what I do is just full send bangers, like, 3, 4 at a time.
Yeah.
I have this one transition series I did at a house party not long ago, and it was like a continuing drop. It was stupid. It was 4 decks at one point. It was 3 decks at one. Doing that stuff is exhausting, though, on the mind. Have you ever done that, Tommy? I know you've got multiple decks.
Not well, I can tell you that much, and certainly not outside of my studio. That's for sure.
Man, running 3 and 4 is mind numbing. It's why, like, even the best can't do it consistently for more than a couple minutes at a time. Just because. And a while ago, there was a study done. That an hour to 2 hour DJ set with a live crowd, the amount of stress that we go through is equivalent to those taking the SATs.
It's a lot. It's a lot to think about, right? It's on so many dimensions, right? From
exactly.
Like the music, the feel, the floor, the dance, the temperature in the room, right? The math of being able to count to 4, like all of those things happening simultaneously for hours.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all know it's exhausting. But yeah, on multiple, like playing on 3 or more decks, like we do it when Ryan and I, or the 2 or 3 of us in the collective will B2B, like we'll get 3 or 4 going. But like on my own, no, I don't know. Ryan, what about you? Are you?
I'm trying to enjoy myself up there. I'm at this point where I'm like, let's connect by seeing the DJ actually emote the feeling like we're connected through music, and just, you know, I love going through like my house sets. Right now, currently, I love doing a lot of Jack and House.
Okay. Yeah,
And
Jack and House, Funky House,
yes,
fun stuff. It's
yes,
fun stuff.
Just disco-y and, you know.
Staying
throwback.
alive, staying alive.
Yes, yes.
But you've had at the house, Ryan. You had the so you've got your Denon Prime right set up.
Yeah.
And you had vinyl. You had two Technics on top of that. Yeah.
Oh.
You've been putting all four of them together.
I know, dude. I will not lie. I'm not gonna front doing the vinyl again. It's you know, you have to live through the whole fact of like the BPM and pitch, writing the whole thing. And I just realized how much ping ponging used to go into that thing with like both of it trying to match by ear, and this is like, oh, okay.
What was your first set of DJ equipment?
The first set was a Gemini set. That was like probably the most basic belt drive type of setup you could think of. Yeah,
I still have my first set of equipment. It's a Newmark Mix Deck Gen 1 with the iPod dock as the third channel in the center.
yeah.
That's what I learned on it. Like, took 8 gigabyte or less flash drives. They didn't talk to each other. There was no name display for the track. It was just the countdown or count up, depending on how you wanted to see the time code, and knowing your music. And like that was,
you have to know your music, dude.
Yeah, like for Eaton, they were telling me that they have Gen 1 2000s, and my flash drives are like dumb big, and I don't know if they're gonna work. So I'm after this, after Ignition, I have to go to Micro Center, pick up some CDs and a CD burner, and I'm just gonna burn a ton of CDs for this. And I'm just gonna go old school because I know
Nostalgic.
the CD drives will work.
Yeah,
everyone plugs in flash drives, and like mine are just beyond obnoxiously large. Like they barely work on my Nexus 2s or 3000s.
Oh my gosh.
Like 1 terabyte. I want my music and I want it now.
Yeah, I gotta like you gotta remember the days when we used to burn CDs off of LimeWire, like, and just every bootleg you could find out there.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I'll find of like cleaning out the car or the office. And that tells you how old my car is, right? But like there'll be like the sleeve, right? The visor sleeve that has like some mix from when my wife and I first met or something. Like, you know, it's like the art of the perfect like mixtape to the burned CD to like now it's like you're serenading your significant other with hey, come over and like here let me put together a set for you, right?
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
You know what I've found I've been 15 years of DJing that some of my best mixes have been when I've been the most emotional, either one end of the spectrum, angry or sad or happy or whatever. Like some of my best mixes have happened when I've been in like such an emotional state. Like if I spin trance, I'll make you cry. I take people on an adventure when I play trance. Yeah. Like what was the genre you started with?
It was actually a guy that came and taught me how to spin vinyl. He brought Rabbit in the Moon, which was trance.
Yeah.
And Josh Wink came into the fold 1998, and that was like, this is trippy as balls. What is this? And that's how like I just kind of came in form. And Midwest was like housey, right? Everything about that, but like desert trance, jungle. I connected with 3 different ones to start with, and
nice.
Yeah. How about you?
I started with trance, hard trance.
I love.
Believe it or not, hard style, and then like
that's one of the oldest ones.
Trance. Yeah, I mean, I started DJing in 2010 when electro house, hard style, hard trance still ruled the world. My first show was Armin van Buuren.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, back at Ibiza.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm more recent, right? And I tuned into electronic music really just before the pandemic, but just by listening to like some of the YouTube from like Tiesto had a good radio show, and like Duke Dumont, who's like kind of bounces genres with this stuff. He's got some bouncy like club songs. Yeah. He's got like some darker, slower stuff. Like he does things that are like 115 BPM. Like, and then he's got, you know, the mainstream, like the Ocean Drive mainstream. It's like, I didn't have. I had some trance like when I started, just because I found like, there's Armin van Buuren. That's how I found it. And then
AVB.
Yeah, and then just pulled like a bunch of random ones. I don't play it that much, but again, it's like a lot of things we talk about with other genres. People who do it well, like let me sit back and enjoy it. Or dance or whatever, but like that's where the crossing genres kind of
answer C, all of the above.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah. So anyways, back to Ignition. So you're on today.
Yep.
Are you on that every week?
Every Sunday. Yeah.
Every Sunday. And what's the rest of the lineup on this on your Sunday? Is it pretty?
It's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Grom, who also is a DC native, he plays before me. Purple and Blue, and it's one of the heaviest hitting lineups of the 7 days is Sunday, in my opinion. After me, it's Rock B, who I don't remember where he broadcasts from, but he's super great DJ.
Yeah.
And the lineup here, there, everywhere in terms of genre. There's no like, if you tune in on a specific day, it's just going to be house. Like we used to do that.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore. It's very multi-genre every day, but we probably have the heaviest hitting DJs on Sunday.
So you and Grom are each on this lineup.
Yep.
Right. But you're both here in the DMV for a UK based radio show, right?
Yep.
What about the rest of the DJs? Are they all over
the world?
Yeah. Do you all know each other? Do you get together and
do we know? Not through personally.
Yeah.
I do keep in contact with some of the older DJs from when it was UGC. But they don't, they've moved on to other things, and they don't play anymore, unfortunately. But they were both really good. My buddy Randy Derrickott, who is in Florida, whenever I go down to see my daughter, I try and see him as well. Super cool dude. Great trance DJ. But outside of like just the general chitter chatter through like group chats, not really.
Yeah. See, like Sean, I saw Sean Boulevard earlier this week, and he's got like his Deep Radio team Deep.
Yeah.
Like, there's like a camaraderie, we're in this together with that lineup. I guess his Wednesday lineup, but yeah, it's cool. Those things. It's like the only radio I think, I don't know Ryan, but like the ones we've done in the Charlottesville one, Hacienda,
yes.
they're more one-offs, right? So like you'll get an hour or two. It's not like an all-day lineup, but I like listening like to whether it's Ignition or Deep Radio, those ones that are stacked 6 back to back. Like it's how you find a lot of new music, a lot of new DJs, and especially like worldwide. Like it's we're all trying to dig for new stuff and unique sounds. So I like having that back to back to back to be able to kind of pick out something that's like, oh, I haven't heard that before. I don't know about you. What's your?
I usually go to this app called FG Radio. I don't know if you've heard that one, but check it out. That's where I get a lot of my deeper cuts from.
But FG Radio is like
it's a French based
it's internet radio. It's not like just a marketplace or whatever.
Yeah. That's what
nice.
I don't even know what is similar to that. It's definitely not a Spotify type of platform.
I don't Spotify. I don't YouTube anything. I'm so old.
Right.
Well, this will be on Spotify and YouTube as well as Apple Podcasts.
I know. But like,
someone's gonna find it.
I don't. What I mean is, I don't pay for
I got
Spotify. I don't pay for like Apple Music, which I don't have an Apple anyway.
Yeah.
I don't pay for YouTube Music. I would rather just listen to my friends' sets that I've either recorded or like they're on Mixcloud, SoundCloud, stuff like that. I'm just old. That, and I hate commercials.
Dude, I'm older than you, man.
Not by much.
Old enough.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. I've got Spotify. I've also got a boatload of kids in the car all the time, and like it's a blessing and a curse. It's two sides of that coin. Whatever. Like to me, Spotify is how I got a lot of new music when I was just getting into this, and I still get some new music through there because I can find an artist on social or on internet radio or wherever and just go down the rabbit hole in Spotify very quickly because I've got access to a lot of it. Now, like I also support, like I buy my music, right? I buy from whether it's Beatport or Bandcamp or
Tracksource,
whatever, especially particularly where like the artist kind of points you to. That's where tend to go. But at the same time, like the creativity on places like HypeEdit, SoundCloud, and then the critical mass of music on Spotify, I think you put all of those things together, and you can get a pretty well-rounded style, well-rounded library. So I get it. I understand why people choose to go different routes. But for me, like, one, it's keeping the damn kids happy because they got requests for
For
right?
sure.
Yeah, it's the only requests I'll take are the ones from my kids in the backseat these days.
I have a song I have to send you later.
Please do. Yeah, but I'll say this. So my Spotify like Wrapped last year, the number, like my most listened to track was Scylla, RL Grime.
Okay.
Which is the Washington Capitals like entry song.
Oh,
because
my
3-year-old calls it the hockey song.
That's so
and requests
funny.
it over and over and over and over and over.
Only once a trip, though. Once a journey.
I wish it were that easy.
Oh,
but
man.
Is it like a trap sort of genre, or what is it?
Yeah, we'll it's not the stuff. It's not anything I would play out. But it's,
Right, yeah.
I can't break myself from, like, you know, here come your Washington Capitals, right? And I'm like in the car, like this little suburb dad driving.
Dude, you have a future in announcing the Capitals, man. That was pretty spot on.
good.
Yeah.
I think Wes is a lifer, Wes Johnson, and I bet there's a long list. But I appreciate the vote of confidence because it'd be a great way to see see the games. You're gonna do two radio shows in one day. Like how different do you expect your music to be from here in the afternoon to tonight? Do you are you planning them out, or are you just like,
Well, for the first for Ignition, I've got so much new music I want to test out, so I'm just gonna to the wind and go and just go. For Eaton, I'm just going to burn a bunch of CDs as a backup because 3070, none of my flash drives will work on a 2000. 30 minutes for Eaton.
Oh, you got 30 minutes. So you're going. Somebody's coming on after you.
No, I'm last at 5 to 5:30.
Got it.
It was like an open dex thing, and I applied, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, come play." And I was like, "Cool."
Nice.
And then they told me what the gear was, and I'm like, "Oh, fantastic!" I had a set of Gen 1 2000s, so like, I'm very familiar with them. My biggest concern is just because my flash drives are just redonkulously big. I'm gonna burn CDs and go old school.
It's a little. The button's a little sticky. Just a heads up. So
I've heard things about buttons being sticky, knobs not turning. I might bring my wrench with me just in case.
A wobbly volume.
The pitch bends. I've worked with it all before. It's frustrating, but once you get the quirks of whatever gear is in front of you, it's just smooth after that.
Yeah. What are you playing on? Well, what gear are you playing on at home? What's your?
I have an XZ and 2 Nexus 2s.
Yeah. And that's what we used to bring out to like ballroom and all the other places.
Bring it everywhere. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I take care of my stuff and it works and it's reliable.
Yeah, I appreciate that about you, man. I know you've used my stuff. You take good care of it. Like sometimes I'll even stuff I'm doing today. I'm gonna I've got little, I asked you about ProTech, right? Mm-hmm. Like little things started to kind of go here and there.
Yep.
I always appreciate you take care of stuff. You brought it back better than you found it, kind of thing. And
hey, the wipe down is a thing before and after.
Yeah. Well, I've done, I think all of us done a lot of things. We're talking about Eaton or others, and Eaton's fantastic. Like everybody has gear issues. It's not a knock on Eaton, but it gets utilized so much. But when you go, you can tell who takes care of their stuff, who's paying attention, who doesn't. The XZ, I've had issues with the knob, the scroll knob on like 3 or 4 different controllers, because I guarantee you, I'll place a bet that most people who are playing on that are scrolling until they because they haven't done the work to prep, they haven't done the work to, so you just twist that knob and go. It's crazy, man. I've had things get stuck, and it's really frustrating when your gear is like intended to do like very simple things, but it keeps like skipping.
A little excessive with the twisting.
I have not had that problem. I will say that on my XZ, I have not had that problem, and because like the amount of music I have, especially stuff I just downloaded, it's just gonna be like, scroll.
Yeah.
Because it's a bunch of different genres, and depending on how I want to start, how hard I want to go, and if I want to go to Remix City for part of that or not. Because I just got a whole bunch of new like mashups and remixes I want to test out. But
can you stream through the XZ?
Yeah. I go from the Master 2 into a Scarlett 2i2 interface. Nice. From that interface into the computer, and I make that the sound card, so they have direct audio. Yeah, that if you want to do like radio stuff, you have to have direct audio.
Yeah, can you pull like Beatport or
on the XZ?
Yeah.
If I was playing with like a laptop, yes. Yeah, 100%. The XZ is probably the best piece of Pioneer gear that they have built in recent years. The reason I say this is just from an audio standpoint. The AZ, for instance, doesn't have the send returns you need to run a Remix 1000 or a Remix 500 or an external beat machine or anything like that. Doing anything on the AZ takes a grand task of go into this setting, turn this on, turn this off, blah blah blah, to get it to work with external decks, whether it be 3000s, Nexus 2s, which I do not recommend using Nexus 2s with an AZ ever. It's glitch city. At least it was when I did it those handful of times. But yeah, like just being able to switch from CDJ to computer to external turntables and have it all connected all at once, and it's literally just a flick of a switch. It's awesome. I love that piece of gear, and the fact that you get a 900 Nexus 2 mixer and 2 Nexus 2s in one giant thing for the price of an A9 mixer, or for the price of one 3000, I just think that makes it more worth it, especially for someone that has limited space, limited budget, and wants 4 decks.
Yeah. It's a solid piece. It's versatile. Like
it's just heavy as hell.
Yeah,
especially in the case.
Yeah, we typically have A9 with 3000s, which again, the whole backstory of how it came about that stuff. But like, I'm finding like it's more and more how do I say this, like the XZ is showing up more and more at like
bar venues.
Yeah, like they're coming out of the studio into the bar. It's not like club standards, so to speak, but you'd be surprised how many people are playing really kind of higher profile sets with the XZ because of its versatility, reliability. Like it can expand it.
It runs everything. It runs every DJ program that is out there. Like, little known fact is you can map it to run Tractor.
I know that.
You can run Tractor. It runs Serato. It runs Rekordbox. It'll run Virtual DJ, though I don't know how well. I haven't tested that, but it runs everything.
You ever been on the Denon, the Prime?
Yeah, you want to come over and go to Camp Denon for a minute?
No. So I went to Camp Denon once, and I plugged in my flash. This was years ago, mind you. I plugged in my flash drive, and immediately corrupted it. And I was very upsetty spaghetti.
Oh, Ben.
No, I will not go to Team Denon. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I can't. Nope.
Yeah.
It was too traumatic for me. I lost music that I will never get back and haven't gotten back to this day.
I can understand that.
So no, I can't. I back up my
my life is based on this hard drive, and I don't have a backup for it. Yeah.
Ryan will pop in from time to time to the house, or like we're spinning out, and like, oh, this flash drive doesn't have what I want, or it's got this file's corrupted,
and I bring out,
here goes the hard drive, boom,
and like, the sticker. I have a sticker on it that says "The God."
Yeah.
How big's the hard drive?
Like 4 terabytes.
It's got a nice chunk.
That's a. Is it full?
It's got like.
Well, damn.
It's nice
1960s Billboard hits all the way to current and everything else.
So you probably have more music than I do, and that's an impressive task by itself.
I'm telling you, Ryan's library is. I'm telling you, I would put it up against certainly anybody I know, because
open format everything.
It's
for
everything.
real.
And
Yeah.
it's like you said, back to the 60s.
I have client
today,
playlists from
everything, man. It's
the last 5 years.
It's
Yeah.
just wild.
Jeez.
If you can imagine it, you can find it on Ryan's
I had
archive.
I had like 48,000 tracks or something like that in my
Yeah.
record box library, and that's
It's enough music for like 3 lifetimes. I bet.
exactly. And
Yeah.
and I know I've got duplicates out the. And one thing I wish Record
Yeah.
Box would do is put in a display duplicates button. We've been asking for them to do that for decades, and they haven't done it yet. I don't anticipate them doing it, but it'd be nice. It'd be nice if they listened to the DJs once.
We'll speak it into the.
We'll speak it into existence.
Existence somehow.
Display duplicates button on Record Box. I'm still
Yeah.
running 5.6 point something because I refuse to upgrade.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That's how dedicated I am to team version 5.6 point whatever I'm on, because like it works. It's not buggy for anything that I need it for. It works.
Yeah.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. That's always been my saying.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Six. What is it like now? Like the free version, 8 point something.
Version 7's out there somewhere. I haven't
Yeah.
touched version 7, but
Yeah.
like 6.8 maybe. I don't know, but like you decline
Decline
the
it,
option.
They don't even
to
support
upgrade.
my version of Record Box anymore. So like, you know.
Yeah, it's were you ever on Serato? Like you ever run Serato?
I've played around on Serato. I've never
Yeah.
used it for anything show wise.
Because I know some of the open format DJs, open format house like guys, who switch between like I've seen some of them use Record Box like performance. I've never used Record Box performance. I've always used Serato for my open format stuff, for bar stuff. Like
I've used Record Box performance.
Have you?
Yeah. Again, not a lot, but like I've used both Record Box performance and Serato enough to know my way around the program, because I've got to, like, not just DJing, but like for running sound. If someone comes in and plugs in, I need to know how to set up Serato. I need to know how to set up Record Box. I need to know how to set up Tractor. All the fun things.
Yeah.
Have you ever set up virtual DJ on an iPad with I don't know, any of those like compatible things?
Someone
that you can
comes
get?
to me with an iPad, says I want to DJ off of this. I'm going to look at them and tell them to go away.
What about Laidback Luke?
Laidback Luke.
Laidback Luke is the only exception to that.
Yes.
But here's the thing: Laidback Luke, he is his turntablism. He is so good.
Yeah.
I've played Laidback Luke tracks for forever, and I've got them from Dirty Dutch, Electro House days, all the old fun stuff. But
he played
I
at
have
Tomorrowland.
so much respect for him as a DJ, just because of how talented he is. I don't understand the damn iPad thing. I just don't get it.
It's a phone or whatever. It's an oversized phone.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But like DJing off of an iPad and I no, it's unreliable. Just like Serato is unreliable. How many times has Serato crashed on you, Tommy?
Probably a half a dozen.
Okay.
It's why I always had the the RCA to Lightning or RCA to USB-C, just in case I need to plug my phone in.
Yeah.
It's happened a few times.
100%.
Yeah.
Like the
thing with Serato though, like, so when Serato crashes, I can always
crashes.
but I can see it coming. I can see it slowing down. It's starting to glitch. And when I played on like the 1000 DDJ 1000, I could start to see it like glitch. So I'd grab my RCA to Lightning out of my bag, plug my phone in, pop it in, and mix out like nothing happened. So
that's like awesome.
It's like not looking forward to it crashing, but like knowing that, oh yeah, I've got this one.
I've got the foresight. I've got the foresight.
That's gonna save my life. Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely happened. I mean, it's like I said, I've not used Record Box performance, but Serato, half a dozen times or so. But
I believe it. I mean, they all crash. The one program that I have had. That I've used rather, that I've not had a crashing problem with is Virtual DJ / Newmark Q. Yeah, it is such a basic program, but it doesn't crash.
I've never used it.
It's okay. You don't need to.
You don't need to.
You don't need to. You don't need to.
No, but yeah, like go like when doing bar gigs, especially like you'll hop
Yeah.
on and be a DJ who's got like virtual DJ or something I've never seen before. It happens a lot where I'm like, what is that? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, virtual DJ, record box
Yeah.
performance. It could be Ableton performance. Pro. Yeah.
Some people ask me too. Like they're like, yeah, what do you want? Like, I'm Serato. I'm like Serato. I'm like, you don't know. Serato's fine for like playing.
Yeah.
Shiesty and Tupac and Rihanna.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Or turntablist type of DJs. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, which whatever. Like that's like, hats off to you, buddy. But like it doesn't really matter. I'm sorry. Like it doesn't matter. But yeah, I do think it's cool though. Like, especially like getting to know some new DJs or getting to know DJs who are experienced. I'm just meeting, like seeing what gear they're on. Like even yesterday, I did this. I rented out some gear to a new DJ, and she had it's like a Alpha Theta Grav 6, the GRV 6. It's like a new. I've never seen this.
I've never even heard.
I've never explored that.
Never seen it.
Never seen it. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm like, all right, well, what is this, right? And like.
You mean the Rev 6?
No, not the Rev 6. It's we'll
have
show
to
you.
Oh my goodness,
but
it's gear I don't know.
It's one that I've never seen before, and like you're just saying, like being prepared for anything when you show up, like. You never know what you're gonna find. Like you expect to see like we're gonna have an XZ and we're gonna have 2 subs and 2 tops, or like we're gonna plug into house system or whatever, and then the house system has it's RCA, or like you just never know. And so that bag, literally like the bag of tricks, the bag of cables.
You gotta carry the bag of cables.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Whenever we see your gear, your equipment, and you have this Pelican briefcase, and it was like I opened it, I was like, oh my goodness, everything is so like just nothing, endless, infinite amounts of XLRs.
It's like a scene
that I
in
saw.
Mission Impossible, man.
Yeah.
It's like just
Ryan, next time I have a gig, I'm gonna have you come tech with me.
Yeah.
You think Tommy's got some big boxes of cables?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
one of my XLR bin weighs about 100 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
And my power bin is probably about 120.
Oh no, he's talking about your stuff. Like mine is a suitcase.
That's what I was.
Oh, you're talking about mine?
Yeah.
Oh, it's grown.
Yeah.
It's grown.
Yeah, it's grown.
I'm sure he's only seen like the tip of the iceberg on that.
Yeah.
But like, yes, mine is a suitcase full of whatever fits in there.
Yeah.
Yours is like impeccably
It's
placed.
built for like Tomorrowland Festival or something weird. Like what's going on?
After every major gig where I bring out pretty much every piece of gear I've got, I realize the most ridiculous things is I need more of these cables. I need more of these cables. And I say that to like friends, family, people, and they're like, how? How do you need more XLR? I was like, because I need a couple 3-foots just to go from wireless mics to mixer. I don't need to be running 15-foot cables to go 2.5 feet. No, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
So, like,
Okay.
yeah, I need more shorty XLRs. I need more XLR to TRS for doing like guitars and things like that for bands, because I was running turnarounds and adapters, and I hate doing that.
Yeah.
Because you lose quality of sound, and I don't like doing
an
that to
education for you guys.
Exactly. And I don't like doing that to talented musicians, is making them lose sound quality. Like RCA versus XLR, it's like night and day. Just like Digi versus RCA, you're getting 30% more output from a digital line than you are an RCA line. Sorry, audio nerd.
Yeah, we actually just switched that too. Like I had been using RCA because just I had
good info.
One, had like the extra cables around, but started. It's like the one we're doing today. Everything's running digital cable, and it's like, but to your point, like you're finding I need a 3-foot, right?
I found a key.
Here we go.
Yeah, I found a key. Turn that off. Oops.
It's but then like so we did this thing in New York a couple weeks ago, and I was playing on a V10 with 4 CDJs. So I brought 2 of mine up to this club to add on to it. But the V10 is bigger than the A9.
Yep.
So the 3-foot digital cable doesn't
Wouldn't reach.
It doesn't work. So now I got
yeah.
another one I got to go get, right? Like I need to get a 6-foot. But and then like the wear and tear, especially when you're doing like the rentals or friends or parties, and like
people don't understand how expensive cables are.
I know, man. I know.
I dropped a couple of years ago I had to get like a ridiculous amount of cables, not just for an event, but to replace other. I dropped like $500 on cables in 1 year.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
If not more than that.
So any of you watching this wondering why I charge my friends a few bucks to use my gear? These cables. Exactly.
Dude, cables, the wear and tear on the gear, especially like,
And metal on metal is gonna do a lot of damage.
100%. And with the expense of like computer chips and parts to replace and repair gear now, like I looked back at gigs I've done and how much I've charged, and I'm like, yeah, if someone had spilled, I would have been like just beat.
Yeah.
Granted, everything's insured through my business, but you know, I'd rather not have to replace things that cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it's a massive investment. I mean, the hardware itself, like, you know, you'll drop anything you're taking to a gig, it's 10 grand easily, right? And there's the case, there's the cable. So like, it's like always happy to provide it and take care of it and make sure it's available. And you know, I don't charge market rate. Like I take care of people, but I also make people know like, hey, this is what I need out of it. This is what makes it worthwhile. I'll help you set up, right? But at the same time, like, and I've had a good experience. Like I've had good experience. People taking care of my stuff. Yeah. A lot of DJs have been on, you know, my gear, and like, you know, I'm not someone who needs to like babysit it, right?
Oh yeah.
We got to be grown ups here.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, the caffeine started kicking in, by the way. I don't know if you can tell my...
Yeah. I'm getting hyped.
My eyes are wide open.
Getting hyped.
Eyes dilated.
But I'm still at the same time, like you've been doing this for a while. I'm still kind of learning the nuances of beyond the surface level, right? Like I can talk about the difference of the V10 and the A9 and so forth, but like there's so much more depth to that than I even know, and so I like to experiment with, like, you know, like grab the V10 or like put different CDJs on the A9, which we've had an issue with before.
We know why.
Like you live and learn, right?
Why. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you cannot successfully, without the possibility of guaranteed glitch, run an A9 with two 3000s and two Nexus 2s. It doesn't matter what it's just not gonna work. Yeah. Either run four Nexus 2s or four 3000s, or just run a 900 Nexus if you can get it. Yeah. Because then you can run the combo of 3000s and Nexus 2s. It's just, there's something with the firmware and the computer in the A9 that connects to the 3000s that it looks at the Nexus 2s and goes, "Sacre bleu, what the fuck are you?" Yeah. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's again, as we've been talking about all along, you go in these situations, you live and learn, you figure it out, and then the next time you're prepared for it. And I would like to have two setups. Like I'd like to have two full setups of my own, like one that I can keep at the house and the other one I can do for rentals, but also like the ability to swap, to meet preferences, because I know people have different preferences. Not that we have like a lot of, you know, James hypes around here, but right.
You'd be surprised how many people have come to me asking for an RMX 1000. Yeah. I mean, that's my next real piece of DJ investment, but like they don't make them anymore, so you got to go to Reverb or some other like resale, you know, site. And I've had nothing but good experiences getting gear off of Reverb, so props to them for doing a good job. But even used, these things hold their value so well. You're paying brand new pricing for them. Yeah. And I've used them. Like they're real fun pieces of equipment. I get why a lot of DJs want to use them. Like you can do a lot of cool stuff with it, but it's not worth $1,000 still used. Yeah. Like the inflation on them is just redonkulous.
Yeah. Ryan, have you used one?
No, I was at 12, and you know, it's always Poppy up there, and he brings his own, and I just like, so it's just nutty. It's just like needing a third brain for this thing. I swear to God. And you're like, this is like, you know, tapping in a drum loop or whatever it is, just live mixing, and that's what I kind of like. Will also love to explore. on the fly live mixing or remixing.
What do you got going on with the Kindred Effect? What's the crew up to?
So, unfortunately, Ballroom closed the underground, as we know.
Yeah.
So we lost our connection, our home there. We're trying to find a new home.
Yeah.
Somewhere in DC, somewhere in Virginia, something like that. But that's pretty much where we stand, is trying to find a new home for a monthly or something like that. We still have our connection at Flash. When we'll be back there, not entirely sure, but hopefully soon.
Yeah.
But it kind of sucks. Like, I'll throw it out there. I've been doing this a long time. I know a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
The helping hand isn't always there from the people you would expect it to be there from. You know what I mean?
I do.
And it really sucks. But I'm gonna reach out to a couple friends that I haven't reached out to yet and be like, yo, we lost our home. Where do you recommend us go?
Yeah.
Like, can you make an introduction? Like, stuff like that.
Yeah. That was such a fun place to play. I mean, I can understand the rationale with the focus on the rooftop now at Ballroom, and the seasons changed and everything. Mm-hmm. It kind of came out of nowhere too, at least for us. I know you were there as a resident for a while, but it's
to almost 3 years. It would be 3 years in November.
It was always just a good place to like. The expectations were pretty, I think, well managed in terms of like, look, man, upstairs, rooftop, like those are generally the priority. But when you see people coming down and you hold on to them for a couple of hours, like, it's a good feeling.
Oh, for sure.
They weren't, they weren't expecting this coming in.
Yeah. And one of the things that I've thrown out to them, and I've been throwing it out to them since our residency started, was on that ceiling wall, they need a LED sign or something that says underground this with an arrow that says this way.
Yeah.
Because no one knows it's down there unless they're using the bathrooms, or they already know it's down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a cool spot. Like, it reminds me super hard of the side room at the Black Hole in Baltimore with the graffiti art and the blacklight active. Just it was like going back to where I used to start, in 2000. I'm not going to age myself. 21 years. I've been in the scene, and I've been DJing for 15. So, like, I've seen the evolution of the DC Baltimore scene multiple times, and it's in a very interesting time right now where EDM is super mainstream. And I come from, and I know, Ryan, you come from a place where it used to be super underground, and the people,
meaning no one would ever heard of it unless you had the flyer left over from that party.
Exactly. Yeah. These flyers on windshields, as annoying as it was, especially in winter. Yeah. I had coming out of the Black Hole once. It was winter and it was snowing, and I had a flyer that was frozen to my windshield.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it off. The entire drive home, I'm just looking at this flyer in the right-hand corner of my windshield going, I hope I don't get pulled over. But that's a good lineup.
Yeah. I used to get profiled a lot because everything about, like, my car was emblazoned with, like, band stickers and that was always the go-to car. Like, this guy might be into our show. So every time.
Dude, I used to carry a bag of glow sticks in my car for glow on the go for, like, emergency rave situations.
Yeah.
I really did.
That was a pretty good glow sticker back in the day.
You and me both. Like, I was part of glowsticking.com for years. I was one of the founding members in Maryland.
Oh, sweet.
We used to go up to the spring break meetup every year. In New York, and then of course we all got old, and the community changed, and the scene changed, and we stepped back for all the newer kids.
But check it out, all the big baggy pants are coming back in.
I still have a couple pairs of UFOs upstairs. I think I really do.
Go to the UFOs.
And BeWild.com and Hot Topic for the trip pants, all of it.
Yep.
Aging the shit out of us, we are.
But it seems weird because I'm like looking at the crowd. I'm like, man, that reminds me of me back in the day.
Everything comes full circle. It does. Everything really does come full circle. Like, have you seen Showtech is coming to the area?
No.
Yeah, Showtech, the hard style.
Hard style, like, is crossing over.
They're coming to the area,
penetrating.
And I'm like, one of my anthems back in the day was Raver by Showtech.
Yeah.
And I'm a mother beep, Raver with a hard style flavor, and like the Neon Spartans.
I might go to for next year. I might go check out a few hard style like places that I'm going to Tomorrowland, but like
Nice.
I think I need to divert a little bit and have a little variety for festivals.
I wish I could like festival more. Unfortunately, like
Would you do 3 days at DEF CON?
So like I can't camp because my body is messed up. Like I can't lay on the ground for 3 days. Like unless there's like a
hammock or something.
Or like if there's like a hotel. As boring as it sounds, like I'll stay for the parties, after parties, but like to lie my head, I would need like a mattress somewhere. Of some nature. That's one of the reasons why I love Ramblewood. They have really good memory foam mattresses in their bunks.
I've yet to check out Ramblewood.
So Ramblewood's a good spot. Like I just did a stage there for Lucid Dream Festival. I did the barn, and my team and we crushed it. I will send you guys some footage to put up in the podcast.
Yeah, the barn. Yeah, how much? That was a big capacity that you could hold in there.
Yeah, there were. So this year for Lucid, I think there were like 400, 500 people there. It was a good sized crowd.
Good.
And we built that thing. It took us 15 total hours to put the barn together.
Oh man.
Yeah, we started at 1 in the afternoon on Wednesday, and we went until 3:30 in the morning on Thursday morning putting it together, because we were hanging projectors from the scaffolding, we were hanging lights from rafters and stuff.
That stage was pretty impressive from what I saw on stories.
It was a bomb stage. It sounded good, it looked good. My projection and laser guys are phenomenal, and we can't wait to go back for another festival. Like, we don't care who it's for, like we will rinse and repeat that any day of the week. And we will do it better and better and better every time, because we learn more as we go, what plugs work, what plugs don't type deal, I can't wait to go back to Ramblewood and run a stage in the barn again. It's such a fun spot.
Was there like anything like as far as like the neighboring, like did you have to find a way to for ordinances and stuff?
So they do have a really strict at the property line dB ordinance, but fortunately, like, not to toot my own horn, but I know what I'm doing. Like when it comes to sound, and especially my sound system, I know how to tune it. I know how to make it clean. I know how to make it loud without being like painful, obviously, because like you have to have people there to break up the waves to get to that level. So I'm not just gonna blast sound at 20-30 people for no reason. Like, that's rude, that's unprofessional, it's uncomfortable, and it's dangerous. But at the property line, we never had an issue this past year. I was doing dB readings every night, and part of the problem with doing it was there was just a lot of wind that weekend. But outside of wind noise, you couldn't hear jack at the property line.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, and the
was
guys,
it valleyed in there, or is there
the barn is all downhill. And we put the window panels back on to help insulate the sound a little more, and it helped insulate the fog. Sweet. So I didn't burn through like 3 gallons of fog juice this year. That was great.
And if there's any
expensive.
So if you have hay bales available, that could
no hay bales.
No hay bales.
No hay bales. But I love that property. It's really cool, and one of my good friends works there, which is a perk.
Tommy's had some experience with the Lucid Dreams Festival.
It's a good spot. It's an expansive spot. I mean, it's last year, right? This year we were not
this
selected.
Past year,
The prior year though was cool. I mean, it's definitely like from my experience, like playing the barn is where it's at, because it's such a unique stage, but it is a stage. It is professionally set up and managed. Like, you guys do a killer job, obviously, and sound is right. and it is. I mean, I don't know what the height on the barn is, but it's like
high.
It feels like a big room.
It does.
Yeah.
In the stadium seating on the side.
Yeah,
is really cool.
yeah.
It's the spot. It's also because it's enclosed.
Yeah.
So if it rains, I don't need to worry as much about my tens of thousands of dollars of sound and lighting getting annihilated. Because that would really fucking suck.
Yeah. I only was there for like the couple hours before and after my set each night when I was there. So and it was really rainy.
Yeah.
Last year. So like it was hard to like really enjoy getting around.
Yeah.
But I would love to spend a weekend there. Like I would love to spend a weekend at Ramblewood, like actually experience the whole thing, because there's a ton of potential from my experience. Like it's definitely got some potential, but the life takes over, coming and going for work and kids and all the other stuff I have going on. But it's a good spot. Ryan needs to be there. Ryan needs to be.
I need to not be on. I need to not be such a I don't know. I guess a hermit.
It's the most like
a hermit sometimes.
Hermit the Kermit.
Yeah.
It's
and like traveling.
So I'm gonna show you main stage first, right?
Yeah.
This was the main stage. Yeah, take it.
Look at the lights.
That was at the
thing.
pavilion.
Oh my goodness.
It was really, really nice, right?
Jeez. Yeah.
That was mine.
That is, man.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's
crazy.
It's like,
I like that.
That's what we did this year.
LED background and.
It's a stage made for Ryan's energy, man. Like I'm telling you, like this, the shades.
I'll prosper anywhere as a DJ. I don't, yeah. But that would be great to put in the.
It's a fun spot.
Yeah.
What's so the Kindred Effect is all over the world right now.
Yeah,
you guys are everywhere.
Andrew is in France.
Yep.
Glitch and Corin are in different parts of Texas. Okay. And we've got Sporn, Mr. Duke down in Richmond still. Okay. And then we have one loner in Fredericksburg. He just headlined his own show not long ago, so big props out to Chris.
Yeah.
Him and I are both members of the DMV Shuffle Circle. When we started at Ballroom, right?
Yeah.
It was 11 o'clock crowded.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was that way until probably November, December this past year. And it started shifting 11:30, 11:45.
Yeah.
And now it's like midnight 30, people are coming out to party for like an hour and a half.
It's so weird,
It's so weird.
It's so weird.
So, Kim from Deep Tech was technically my headliner. He had the 2-hour slot.
Yeah.
And not many people were there until the end of it. And his set crushed, as he does.
As always.
Yeah.
He's he was there. The when I played with you guys before that was when I think Chris was there before.
I'll have to look at the flyers. There's been a lot of
point being like you guys have always been like good to us, like brought us in, like and but also like have done the thing where your collective has the residency, runs the show, but you've built those bridges to other collectives, other DJs. Like we've had Kim and Deep Tech, and like we've had you guys on our stuff when we were doing every Friday, and I don't know if it's one of the things I really will miss about Ballroom is that coming together of like collectives and even our stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
There was almost always someone good playing. In the underground if it wasn't like a Friday.
Yeah.
Like anytime one of the collectives played, smash.
Yeah.
The problem was people just keep coming out later and later and later and later. And the businesses, obviously they have to make money and they have to do what makes sense. And it's not just the pay of the DJs. You got to pay the staff. You got to have the overhead for liquor, mixers, food costs, stuff like that. Like I did 18 years in food service, so like I completely get it from a business standpoint. It just sucks from a DJ and musical standpoint because that was the home for a lot of us.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak specifically to Ballroom, but at the same time, I think there's a level of collaboration in terms of like promotion and like building these things out that goes beyond like hey, we're going to hire great DJs and everything's going to take care of itself. Like, it takes the places that do it really well and succeed, like, put in a little extra effort, right? And not that Ballroom did or did not. And I think Nick, for what it's worth, I think he was you know, a lot of muscle behind, you know, the underground Ghost Bar, whenever like, you know, dude worked his ass off. But there's also, like, it was hard to find, right? Like, literally hard to find in the venue, and hard to find, like, from social for a long time. And I think that's, you know, again, you're going to hit people's limits in terms of what they can and can't do, what they can and can't do well, what they're willing to do. And I don't think it takes that much. I think it just takes a little more consistency and collaboration to give these things an honest shot, as opposed to just being like, well, we'll open the doors and turn on the sound and see what happens. And that's some of the frustrating stuff, and especially out here in Virginia, or we're in Maryland now, like where we live in Virginia, where we played, it's like you don't have that foot traffic, that critical mass like you do in DC, where you've got El Techo and Flash and
across the street
Secreta,
from each other.
like you got all these places, you know, around each other. Plus you got 20 bars. Like, of course they're going to do well. It helps. The music's great, but it takes a little more effort to build it out in the burbs.
And one of the things also, bringing up DC, is like a lot of the venues, they don't give Thursday nights the right amount of time to get traction. We've had 2 different Thursday night residencies, and right when we started getting traction is when the venues would be like, all right, well, this isn't working out. Okay, you got to give us more than like just 2 months, bro. But, you know, and then there's just venues that, quite frankly, don't pay out the DJs. Like, there's no secret. There are those venues in this area. One of them owes me money. I'm not going to mention them.
Just one?
Just one. Just one.
I wish.
I bet. And that's one of the things about this game that we play, quote unquote game that we play, this industry that we're in, is that even with contracts being signed, like, is it really, depending on the amount of money, is it worth the frustration of going to court, filing the paperwork, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, for my situation, it's very unique, but I couldn't, if I wanted to, I still couldn't do it for various reasons. And it just sucks.
And I don't think anybody wants to, like, be truly adversarial, especially, like, when this, again, DC is still a small scene. Like, it's a small scene
with a lot of DJs. The amount of DJs that have popped up in this area in even the past year. Like, I look at open decks and just lineups, and I'm like, who are these people and where did they come from?
I was thinking the same thing yesterday. I was talking to one of my friends I was working with last night. I'm like, dude, I saw this lineup you're on tomorrow. Like, I don't know these people. Like, where are they coming from? Just keep coming. Which, for me, like, big picture, I think it's great. I love when people get into music. I'm totally into it. I am all in on open doors, open decks. Like, I do not, anybody who says you can't play, again, I said it, you know, they tell you can't play, go play what you want to play. If you're good, it'll work itself out. If you're not good, get better.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
everyone's got to start somewhere. I completely agree with that. I just think that there is like, not just in this area, but like overall, such an oversaturation of DJs. Like, and there's not enough places for all of us to play. And one of the things that has been happening for years is different promotion groups, and not intentionally, we will have events the same night. And that's one of the things that I tried always to actively avoid, is having events the same night as other big events, or events where other collectives are playing, you know, in the area close by, whatever. Because, you know, all of us are friends. We all work together. We all spin for each other. And I don't like trying to compete with my friends. I'd rather be there to support them, or have them there to support, you know, me and my crew, whatever. But when we're all playing the same night, all we're doing is just drawing the crowd thinner and thinner and thinner for each other.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, I feel the same way. Like we are always cognizant of that. Like we had our Friday event. It was like weekly's hard, by the way. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do another
Weekly is
exhausting. It's exhausting, but unless there's a different level of like support, collab, all those things where it all meets up. And for a while, it did. It was really good. But like anything, there's a shelf life with that stuff. But yeah, like this year, we're doing about once a month. But we're doing out of town, man. Like we're doing a little bit more out of town, so we can get like on lineups like solo, right? Like Ryan's got. Ryan and myself and Kat, I think we might all be doing like 3 different events on July 4th, right?
Nice.
But then like the next weekend we get together for RPGs, like kind of our summer, our 1 year anniversary. But like that's it. Like we're not doing something like.
Where's that going to be?
That's going to be at Never Look Better.
Okay, I know Never Look. I wanted. So when I was there when Fatty P and Jules were playing, and I had worked that day and I was so tired. I tried to hack it to meet the booking manager, but I couldn't. I was just so tired. Yeah. But that's one place that I would like to get a new home at. It's underground. I like the vibe there. They need their sound fixed and redesigned and run properly, not to try and. I'm just the sound guy. I do this everywhere I am.
We expect too much reverb in this room,
right?
Yeah. I mean, everywhere I am, the first thing I do is dissect how everything is run. How it sounds, how it looks, and it doesn't matter what venue it is. Like I do this at Soundcheck, I do this at Flash, wherever I am.
It's good. It keeps us all honest, right? Whether we're promoting or playing or just booking or whatever. Like I know you well enough to take that at face value and not like, oh my god, is he knocking? No, like dude, like that's what we need. We need people to be able to keep it honest. But yeah, Never Look Better is it's a good spot. I did an open decks there with Bohemia, I think back in December, and they've redesigned the space.
Yeah, they moved the DJ booth.
So I haven't been back since they did all that. But I mean I like the team there. I like that venue. Yeah. It's 18th Street Lounge is upstairs.
The new 18th Street Lounge.
The new 18th Street Lounge upstairs. So you gotta.
I miss the old one so much.
Yeah, I mean, the new one has got some creative stuff going on, man. Like,
I'll have to check that out next time I'm in that area.
They have, I think every other Sunday. I don't know if you know Maximiliano.
I know Maximiliano.
Yeah, so he has his deep. I think it's called, what is it called? Deep Grooves or Deep Sounds. Deep House. There's a whatever it's called.
Yeah,
he does.
Deep House in me just. I can play Deep House. I'll play it for like a cocktail hour, like an entry, doors thing. Yeah. But it's just so boring and so not who I am as a DJ.
Well, it can be all those things, but what's different about it? It's like Sunday evening, so I think he does like 6 to 10. Okay. So it's Deep House 6 to 10, as opposed to being like, okay, here's another 9 to 3. What are we gonna do? Like, no, it kind of fits the mood, fits the afternoon. They're doing they do some piano, Afro house.
Okay.
And it's got like 18th Street Lounge has that deck, the patio in the back.
Yeah, that's
and
perfect.
You can bring people to the bar in the middle, and it's got a good dance floor. It's a good venue. I like it.
I'll have to check out the new one. That's one of the unfortunate things of doing what I do and living where I live is I'm an hour from DC.
Yeah,
I'm in that same element too.
From DC.
Yeah. It's a trek.
Not even just trek. It's just the traffic. Yeah. It's such a pain in the ass.
It's time.
And I drive a minivan, so then I got to find a place to park.
Yeah.
Or a garage that's open, late night. But overall, I don't have the time to get out like that anymore.
I know, dude.
That's why I'm hermit mode as well.
AV DJ 7 days a week.
Yeah,
man. And the little bit of time I do have off, I try and spend with my wife so she doesn't ask me for a divorce.
That I totally understand. But, man, hey, it's been really good talking with you. We're coming up on the hour. I know you got to get ready for Ignition. You got to get ready for your set.
Yeah, I don't have to do too much. The stuff's already on. It's just hit connect.
Yeah. Thanks for talking to us, man. Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us out here.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's always nice. Like we set up anywhere. Like we like to go out and about and this is nice to try something new. So thanks for having us.
No
We're
problem.
not
Yeah, man.
sweating in
Of
your
course.
backyard.
Yeah.
Where can
Oh no. My backyard is full of plants and things, and it we would die back there.
Some wild grown, like, poison ivy or anything?
No. It's just
yeah,
herbs and vegetables, really.
Cool.
My wife gardens, and where we would have to sit is just blasting right with the sun right now. We don't want that. AC in the house is much better.
Yeah. After doing the 95 outside, sweating.
As long as you
balls
have,
last week.
if you have like a pool, like a little kiddie pool for us to sit in. Yeah.
I should have thought of that, man. I got so many kids. I should have had kiddie pools like this. But Ryan's always got a question he likes to ask at the end of our broadcast.
What you got?
All of our.
So where can we find Ben on socials?
So I'm actually getting ready to do a rebrand. So currently, anything that says Kelevra Kidah,
Yes.
or Glow Kings Productions, or the Kindred Effect is where you can find me and my team.
We'll put on the show notes.
Yeah, the last show I'm going to do under the name Kelevra Kidah is going to be it's going to be a local thing here in Gaithersburg. It's going to be a house night at a little hookah bar called Ogie's.
Yeah.
On Muddy Branch Road. $5 to get in, great food. It's going to be me blasting bangers all night. So, come through if you can.
When is this?
Absolutely.
It is July 19th. It's Saturday, July 19th.
Saturday night. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Plenty of parking, free parking all over the place, which is always a great draw.
Awesome.
Sweet,
Thanks, man.
man. Yeah, thank you.
problem.
Kelevra Kidah for now, and
Yes.
we'll wait for the. You want to tease it here? Or we should wait for the rebrand.
Is it going to be like a Star Wars?
No, it's not going to be a Star Wars thing at all. So, there's an anime that my wife and I are both into very, 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 very heavily.
Yeah.
And one of the characters I identify with very well. It's like my personality, like damn near to a T. And he has a really unique name and a really unique spelling of it, so I'm gonna go with that because I identify with the character.
Yeah.
And also the I'll give it a hint now. It's an animal. The animal that he is based off of has come to visit me in my backyard several times.
Okay.
So I think this is kind of a sign
Very
of like of a
mysterious,
familiar
yeah.
type thing coming to me. So, I was someone else before I was Kelevra Kidah.
Yeah.
So now it's time to evolve into a different part of my DJ career, if you will.
Man, I was always thinking about like a DJ name coming from like the video game world. Like I was a big fan of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And Red 13 or something crazy like that would have been something I would have used.
Yeah.
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 Awesome, guys. Well, looking forward to the rebrand, and this was a hell of a French goodbye here. It's worked out.
Like I said, you get 3 long talkers in a room with 3 microphones. You are screwed.
Yeah.
Is this recording, by the way?
Yeah, we're.
Oh, no.
This is going to be so
Going on,
funny.
right. Okay, going
Include
on.
some of this in
Yeah.
like, the behind the scenes.
What I've
especially
missed the last few episodes, I've missed the outtakes because they've been so long.
Yeah.
Like I've been like, man, I just want to get this done.
We got
Yeah.
3 long-winded
Yeah.
people talking here, so
do.
we're about to be screwed.
We do.
You know,
We're the
three
first-
dorks in the TKE living room.